All right, what's up, guys? Good to see everybody, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I've got my very good friend, Dr. Emmett Blahnik from up in Illinois down here with us. He actually has agreed to come in on his vacation, believe it or not, to help us out and help our patients out and our community out. Dr. Blahnik is, I've known him for a long time through the chiropractic community. Dr. Blahnik was obviously owns a practice in Rockford, Illinois, and is the founder and CEO of Niceville Health. And he's also been the chiropractor for the CrossFit Games, for USA Triathlon. He's done, I don't know how many Ironman triathlons. He's been a teammate of mine on Team USA for the off-road triathlon World Championships, as well as we've done several national championships together. So he brings a wealth of knowledge in regards to just overall health and fitness and how to be well and healthy. He has a huge practice in Illinois and sees a lot of people and helps a lot of people. So what we're going to talk about today is, and we're going to go through some things pretty quickly here, is your 5 keys to just massive health and fitness. Dr. Emmett, what do you find for yourself and your people you help and just the people you've come in contact with that are very successful to be the biggest things to really help them and help you?
Yeah, well, it's great to be here, and appreciate you having me, Dr. Scott, and thanks for having us. I think one of the number one things that we really need to just address today in 2019 or in the next year is really talking about the gut. So the number one principle we have that we really have a foundation with is to SURF, which really stands for Simply Eat Real Foods. So if we can kind of just define what real foods are for you and your family, that's what I'd like to discuss. So real food, Scott, that's your meats, that's your vegetables, that's your fruits, nuts, beans, and seeds, and really anything that gets further away from that, the processed, the commercialized foods, the foods that are laden with toxins, that's going to wreak havoc on your health. So keep it simple, simply eat real foods. That's priority number one. I would say number 2, adding in an abundance of good, healthy fats. We've been taught to avoid fats, but in fact what we know is our brain is made of 60 to 70% fat. We're fatheads. Our neural system is protected by good cholesterol and good fats. Our joints, so everything from your nerve system to your arthro system, which are your joints and your bones, to your, what else could we talk about in terms of fats?
Organs. Organs are protected by fat. See, all your visceral fat around your organs. I mean, you have to have healthy amounts of visceral fat, not overabundance, but has to be there.
Yeah,
so
and
a lot of things.
For my
heart function, everything.
Yeah, so cardiovascular protective health, neuroprotective health, arthroprotective health. You have to have good fats. The good fats are, it's your avocados or your coconut oil, your MCT oil, the raw butter. So do not be afraid of fats. It's got to be the right fats, but get good fats. I typically would say ingest them generously. Remember, most parts of your body need fats. Hormone productions need fats. So make sure you're getting an abundance of them and be generous with them. So we really want to get people moving. So whether you're a couch potato or you're doing a 5K this year, get it on your calendar. Let's get one step ahead. So whether it's 1 step, 1 mile, 1 block, maybe you're going to do your first 5K. Let's get your body moving again, because movement, not only is it improving your muscle integrity, there's a direct correlation with muscle integrity as well as bone integrity and bone density. So a lot of people are primarily women that have osteoporosis. Well, we're finding out that it's a direct correlation with softer muscles or muscle integrity. So we have to get people moving, not just to get a 6-pack ab, but because of muscle integrity, bone integrity, oxygen absorption. But we also know that movement also protects our spine. So the muscles that encase and surround our spine, let's just talk about that. If we look at the spine kind of like your skull, why did God create your skull? It's to really protect your brain, and your spine is meant to encase and protect your nerve system, which that brings up the question, well, if we want to have good neural health or a good healthy nerve system, then we have to look at protecting that as well. So how would we have a healthy nerve system then? primary number one is spinal hygiene and or spinal correction. So if your spine is plagued with problems, you have back pain or neck pain or some type of radiculitis or a fibromyalgia, maybe you're struggling with numbness and tingling, something where you know that your back or your spine is in trouble, you may need spinal correction, and that's where you have to get adjusted. So see your chiropractor, see Dr. Scott, whether it's on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. I want you to think of your spinal correction and then move into spinal hygiene, which is kind of more like teeth hygiene. Would you ever stop brushing your teeth? So the day, the week, the month, the year that you stop managing your teeth hygiene, what would happen to your teeth? Well, what do you think's been happening already to your spine? So you got to get adjusted. You have to do your spinal hygiene, and they need to see you periodically for help with that.
Yeah, so and then the last thing here we talk about, a lot of people don't think about this too much, is the stress and the time management. A lot of people say, well, it's too stressful to do all these things, right? But what do you find is the most stressful thing?
A couple of things is really managing our time to reduce the stress in our life, because the stressors are never going to go away. They're always going to come at you, but how you're managing them, you have some control over that. So one thing that I would say, suggesting in 2019, in this era of the phones and online and social media, is you have to give yourself a break from that. And so what I've done, which is crazy, so just think about this, as you own a business and I own a business and I have a family and friends and social engagements. Imagine for you if you had to stop using your phone or social media for a month. Most people would be like, I could never do that. Well, maybe don't start there. Start with a couple hours a day if that's what you need. Start with a day. Start with a week. And what I did was I turned hours into days, and then I turned days into weeks, and I literally took a phone sabbatical, which was probably the most restful, peaceful time. And I would encourage people to do that. Kind of almost think of it as like you're going to do some intermittent fasting, but only for your brain and your stress. So let's do a cell phone sabbatical. Give yourself that challenge this year. See what that does for you. And just begin to look at your calendar this year in 2019. We're actually mapping out the year. Let's figure out when that next 5K is going to happen. Even if you're a couch potato, let's get that on the calendar. Let's get the next vacation on the calendar so we can begin managing our time instead of our time managing us. But keep it simple. I think that's the important thing. Keep it simple and practical. Simply eat real foods. Add generously those good fats, something like your MCT oil, which is the fractionated coconut oil. Get the movement, more oxygen in your body. Keep those joints and bones moving efficiently. Protect your nerve system with spinal hygiene and spinal correction. Get adjusted, and then develop a plan to manage your stress effectively, and make sure, whatever that next blockbuster event is that Dr. Scott has, I know it's coming up, register now. Make sure that you take the time now to do it, because when are you going to take action? The action has to happen. Let's do it now, so register today.
Yep, so, and again, consistency is the key. I know it seems like you got two guys up here that are very fanatical about life and health, but we have plenty of time where we kick back too. We're not like full on serious all the time, but consistency is the key. And we really appreciate you, Dr. Emmett.
Thanks,
appreciate you coming in and spending some time with us and helping our patients out. If you like these videos, hit the like button and subscribe below. We also have a voucher if you'd like to come in and get checked or get a family member or friend checked in the office. So you can click that below, and you guys have a happy new year, and we'll sign it off.